They're eating the post.
Set the post. Oh, sure.
Good afternoon, my view. Yeah, man. So my contribution to this topic regarding the beating of both the mother and the father, I would say, well, the real issue here, is the father and the mother clearly have different views on how to raise a family, but yet they start a family together. So that's why we know in this conundrum. But anyway, back to the beating though. Unfortunate, and I wouldn't support the man beating both the wife or the girlfriend or baby mother as well as the child, especially if it was done in public, right? He should definitely had restrained himself and try and resolve this. Maybe to beat the child, fine, but the mother now, him need to find a way for reach out to her and make sure so them what you call it now, them views align on how to groom or raise a child. Cause make no sense me I raise my child with discipline and you are raised and she are raise a child in discipline. It don't make no sense me a pre-education and you are pre-sports. You get what I say? It don't make no sense me a free you up for go do what you want and then one parent a force you in a church. So the most important thing, man, when starting or thinking about settling down with somebody is to making sure your views align 100% or even as close as possible, right? And that's why dating important, not just say a thing and, grab it and start throw walk and breed and then start figure it out after. Yeah, man, that's why and getting to know your partner is really, really important. You see me? So, unfortunate situation nonetheless, and sad to see, but it happened. So I forgot to deal with it, though.
Yeah, my view. The woman disrespect a man big time, man. For do that, you're supposed to do that to your husband, and put your daughter in such danger, right? So the man did act out of anger, and the anger when him act out of is no different from if me and you depend on ends and somebody get us triggered to the point where we just snap. So him just snap. Now can't do it or anything, but him just snap. Anybody can snap, and that's the highest disrespect a woman can ever do to a man is make the kid downplay the father. Pretty much that she had the right there. So she had trained the kid to downplay the father.
All right, on the topic, both mother and father, both mother and daughter are supposed to be reprimanded, right? Because they go behind the father back and do something that the father said not to do. The man is the head of the household. I understand some women can have different thoughts about this, but man is the head of the household. And if the mother and the father can sit down and come to a reputable reason why the child should not go or should go, then the child should not go. If they come to a decision now, say, all right, go or don't go, then the child do what is there, but not what is pleasing to one. It's supposed to come to between the two of them consenting for the child to go. You understand? But the violent part is not supposed to be. But him can reprimand the two of them without that.
When we know better, we have to do better. Back in the day when ignorance was prevalent with Jamaican upbringing, with Jamaican parents give pitney cowlick, then anything when they fling palm pitney. I've heard a lot of accounts where people use tech wire, tubing, all sort of sitting for lick pitney. Now that was the deep dark ages where we feel like we can't reason, and because our granny parents raised them ignorant and on some dog lick, and so your granny raised my mother or my father upon it, and then my father or mother would have want. But now that information is different and things are different, we have to look on a different approach. Fathers carry different weight than mothers. It is what it is because God gave parents different role and authority upon earth. No, if the father tell her she's not going to party, she should listen to the father. There is clearly a disconnect between the father and the mother in terms of are they on the same page where things are concerned? And then there's a pitney we manipulate because you know some mother go be a little bit more flexible than the father. And so pitney always a try to pull a fast one upon their mother. We never got to talk about the licks yet. We're just talking about the things that bring up to the licks. The father needs to have conversation with his daughter and say, this is what's happening, that. Because oftentimes some pitney wayward. I have to make them know the real raw truth of the streets and let them know that it's deadly out there. And a lot of children don't even have the luxury of fathers to do stuff with them. And so this child should take it very important that her father is still within her life and still willing to mold her into, the way that a child should go. Now the licks, you cannot do them cow lick there with pitney. You have to talk to pitney. And then the mother choose to go behind your back and you want to lick the mother too. The mother is not your pitney, sir. What is going on with you? You need to have conversation and make the mother know, say, yo, when me tell the pitney, say, this is what's happening, this is what they need to do. And that is it. It could be that him shame that she undermine him authority and so him lick the woman too. But there need to be a better way. You cannot lick woman because what them tell the pitney if you go party. Like, sir, what is wrong with you? Like, you need to easy by your force, sir. Like, why a problem? You need some anger management. You need to find another way to solve things in your house because obviously you're losing control here. But the ignorant parenting in Jamaica, them need to really revisit it because it's just ridiculous. Now you have that pitney they shame and angry and go the worst undercover from the father. Now there's obviously a rift in the family. It's a big thing because it reached a review. But it's just a sad situation all around. But my take from this is, as a Jamaican parent, we need to be a little less doggish or haggish and have true sit down and talk with your children and let them know that the street out there rough. The streets don't love them like you do. And maybe, just maybe, you'll have a nice percentage of them that a good sit down and talking to might actually save. Because they cow lick on them something there, it build up resentment in your heart towards your parents. Enough people have trauma from the whole lick with them mama and papa give them. They can't stand them mama and papa because the licks. I have witnessed it. I never went through it. Because my red king can't take no lick. But I have witnessed it. And children are resentful to their mother for the heavy cow lick where they get in the past.
My view on this situation is a man always think that they are the dominant male of the family. And what they say goes. Most men think a woman does not have a say. And in a relationship where children is concerned, we both have a view of saying. And the reason why the dad beat the child, to me, is because he told her not to, so she should not have listened to the mother. She only should have listened to the father, that the father saying not to go. But some parents don't realize that it's two parents, is not one. You understand me? So if the father don't give permission and the mom give permission, it's the same rules. You understand? The only thing, one does not want one to go and one give permission for one to go. So I don't think the dad should beat the child because the dad only assure dominion over in the relationship. So, or anything me say goes. And if your mother said you're not, you forgot, you're not supposed to go because I already say, you're not to go. What I think the both parents should do is, the father should not beat the child. Both parents should have a discussion within themselves and said, listen, I did told the child not to go, so why did you go behind my back, etc., not to go? And she would have explained her point of view why she sent the child. So I don't think it should come to that point, really, as beaten and badly harm get involved. I think the both parents, both the father and the mother, is like a basic in parenting. To me, that's my view, because if one, as I said, if one let one, it's not supposed to result into beating or into violence. They should have dealt with it on amicable ground. That's my view.
I think what you have right there is it coming at the man, and the man are the only adult in the situation. Minus the part where him beat the little girl and beat the mother. Because at the end of the day, two grown adults, you must have a common ground where the two of them meet and respect each other rules on a lay down. If the mother says she can't go, I bet you she wouldn't go. You get what I say? But sometimes some parents believe so them can be friends with the child instead of being parent, and that the mother do. She try be friend instead of a parent. You know, because if one parent lay down the rules and say, no, it's supposed to finalize. You're not supposed to go around the man thing or go around the woman thing. You get me I say? So it all boils down to one a parent and the other two a picnic. You see me? Because it's that simple. But him give him rights in regards to being violent, because it could have been handled in a different manner than that. But me get where I come from, because I guess I know. If him there at work and him here say, yo, him pick me dead or she get raped or something, you know that man I go feel? But then it goes to show you, say, if that did ever happen, he would have killed all the mama too. You see me I say? Because she go around him. So him have anger issues where he need for sort out, and at the end of the day, the mother need to grow up and start be the friend of our child instead of be a parent instead. You get me? As when I say again, most people believe say them to be friends with them kids. So sometimes them kids manipulate people and manipulate the situation, you see me? Because parents nowadays are trying to do everything to please them picnic. So them friend them and become them friends. So when them say them want to go yes and them want to go this, them allow them. You see me? But I know say it's supposed to work. Parents supposed to be parent and stop undermine the other parent. Because when you do that too, you make the other parent look like him weak or him not going to talk or she not going to talk. You see me?
For me, I'm sorry that he had to beat both of them that bad. That means it's abuse. But hell no. Me support him, son. I said not to go. I am the father here. I am the head of the house, and I said don't go, and you allow her to go? Yeah, but the two of them asked. The only problem I had, he hindered them. As the news say, he broke the child's arm. But me know that happened out of ignorance. But me I tell you, I would have done the same. I would have done the very same. I remember me not grow my children and figure out dance because them pick me make sure me not left the house when they little. Anyway, me I go me and them go out, coming back certain hours. And I remember my son after we moved from my country and sent me come from Hatta grazing. I remember my son wanted to go. And I said, no, you're not old enough to go angle that. And he go. Not just him, but the younger one. Both of them go. Yeah, you know what they did? made a Malikin put in the bed with out of them sweatsuit, stuff other clothes in the sweatsuit them, and cover them on the bed as if they are there. But me, the mother me always check for my children them at night. I went and checked, and I said no, I left them in the same position here so far after 10. Something not right. And when me check them now, come on, me I said they no move, so something must be wrong. So I go, so, hey, at the close, at the Malikin turn over, roll over to me. And what do you think I did? The same window where they walk come out, that's where I sit with my machete in my hand. And then come in, pull up at the window and then come in. And come, and when they turn, I take off the Malikin, them I put under the bed. Me flicker on the light, and they know what time it is. Yeah, man. But use my machete and I whack them up with the big one, get more lick than the small one. You know how old the big one was? 17. The other one was, him never turned 14 yet. He never turned 15 yet. Me no play pitney joke. When me say no, I know me mean. Him don't have any right to put him hand on the woman. Me not support that. But beating the child, yeah, that can go on, yes. And him not have to beat her so bad that punish her somewhere or some. I don't know if all she can take punishment because she sound like she determined and whatever. I don't know how she would have really handle the situation. Because right now, me myself don't even know what me would have do if it was me. But definitely, him not have, the part of me I look out against, him not have no right to lick the woman. None whatsoever. Deal with the child.